Okay, I'm going to continue now that I'm in my office, taking a few minutes just to finish up this this program, the Tic Tac Toe problem. And let me remember where we're at here. I think the problem is the wind condition. We need to evaluate the wind condition. Also, we need to get different marks for x and 0. In fact, let's do that next. Let's provide a way to get different marks for x and 0. Now, this here we pass in a point and we determine the cell, but as we saw just a moment ago, we also need to go from a cell to a point. In fact, that does call for a cell class. So each cell should be associated with a, or not a cell, but sorry, the where is it down here? When we plot, here it is. We get a cell and then we need to plot. Oh, I see. So it's not a big deal. So this is the plotting, and so here, I think what we're going to do is create a private function that returns a point, and it's and we'll do say determine the cell center. It'll pass in and the cell, and then we'll plot the value in the at the cell center. So let's take a look there. So we're trying to plot so this is private once again. And we're trying to plot an X or an O in the center of a cell, given the cell number. And that is a private member variable. That's also const, because it doesn't modify the state of the class. And essentially this is, we just grab this code right here, because we're going to need to share it across two functions. And then we'll return this, we'll return a point xy. So we don't know whether it's an X or an O, we just know that we have a cell number, and so we want to determine the cell center. That's where we're going to draw the X or the O. So we determine X and Y, we wrap it into a point and return that. Now, when we want to plot O, we'll call that cell center function. Actually, let's call this cell center. Cell center. And this is determine cell center. And we pass in the cell value. And then we plot the point there. So let's just see if we got that. This is the cell center. And we do the same thing for X. Let's see if that builds and runs. Click, 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 click. So it seems to be working okay. Now the wind condition, that was a tie condition, by the way, and what we can do is actually go ahead and implement that. Here's main. So if it's a tie, then we want to announce the tie. We'll do that using this cwin, and we'll display a message like this. We'll display a message to the user, and we'll say tie game. And then we return 0. Let's see if that works. That's a failure there. Message. It says it's ambiguous. So I think what we need to do is we pass in, is that right? No, that's not right. So this message, we have to pass in a point, I suppose. Let's try that. We'll pass in a point, say 0, 0. Try that one. So 1, 2, this, well, we're going to make this a tie game. Tie game, there it is. And this will be similar to the other ones. This will be X wins. X wins, and the next one will be O wins. Of course, that we don't. This implementation is O winner, is X winner. We still need to do that. Those are still stubs, and so here it is. Is O the winner? So let's have a big condition there. So if. So let's see how many. There's going to be. There's a small. It's not too bad of a problem because there's a small number of possible win states. So we can just exhaustively, iterate line by line all of those win states and then use that. So let's do this. If how are we going to do that? So we have our vector of cells. So if cells of 0 is O, but actually what I'm going to do there is I'm going to put player here. So I'm going to just to save this, because I'll move this into a function. Let's set player to O. And is player a winner? So what we can do there, because I don't want to repeat that logic. So I'm going to bring that down here and make another private member function. Is player winner? And we're going to pass in the player number. And so we're going to need a player number now. So we'll call this no, X and O. We already have that. X and O is right there. These are the player numbers. And is player a winner? Let's implement that. We're going to use that. And it'll take the player, so that's where we put the logic. Let's just return true on that. And is X a winner? Well, here we're going to return is player winner, and we're going to pass in X. And for is O a winner? We're going to pass in. We're going to do it like this. We're going to return is player a winner O. And I'm going to move this just to group these functions in a more logical way. I'm going to put this one up here. So our job now is to take in a player value and determine whether that particular player is a winner. So we can do it like this. If we can make it one long return statement, actually. Why don't we try that? That might be interesting to try anyway. So we're going to return cells of 0 equals player, and cells of 1 is the player, and cells of 2 is a player. Or, that's one way to win the game. Or, we can do cells of, this is going up and down. This would be cells of 3, 4, and 5. We're just going up and down the 3 vertical wins. So this is going to be 8, 7, and 6. Those 3 vertical wins. Now let's do the horizontal wins. So cell 0 is player, and cell 3. So I'm going to add 3 to that. This will be cell 5, and this will be I know there's a better way to do this. And this is here we start. So we're doing the we're going. This is the horizontal. So check the verticals. We're going to check the verticals. Check the verticals. Now we're going to check the horizontals. And then finally we'll check the diagonals on the bottom there, right? There's only 2 diagonals. Check the diagonals. So we're going to check the horizontals. And the first horizontal is 0, 3, and 5. The next horizontal will be similar to that. It'll start not at 0, but it'll start at 1. And this will be 2. And this will be 4. And this will be 5. And this will be 6. And this will be 7. Now we check the diagonals. That would be the last one there. So it'll be cell 0 is player, or let's take a look at the so it's going to be 0, 4, and 8, and 2, 4, and 6. 0, 4, and 8. I'll do one at a time. 0, 4, and 8. Was it 2, 4, and 6? 2, 4, and 6. 2, 4, and 6. Check the diagonals. And so we return this. Why is that? Cells is undefined. I don't believe it. Oh, that's because, look, the function is not declared as being inside the class, so it doesn't have access to cells. Put that in there. Looks good. Let's try it. So I'm going to make O win. So O goes there, X goes there, O goes there, X goes there, O goes there. And now we're going to need to debug. Not is O winner. So this is an assertion that has failed. That's line 142. Line 142 in tictactoe.cpp. And let's find line 142. Here it is. Oh, we check tie. Is O winner should return false, but it's returning true. Is O winner. So is O winner is oh, this is X winner. Is O winner is returning true. So what's going on there? So why, oh, is O winner, maybe what's happening here is the player is O, and then is O winner, we declare that that O wins, and then we get out of here. And the same thing for is X winner, we declare that X wins, and then we get out of here. So this is where we check for the win. So that we've got a play there. We check to see if player is O. If it's O, we check to see if O is a winner. If it's not O, then we check to see if X is a winner. if that's true in either case, we exit. And otherwise the call is tie. And if that is true, then we're going to say it's a tie. So the problem is this assertion is tie is getting, this assertion is failing here. So how could that be? On the very last, that means something is O winner, is O winner must be returning true here. And so when we call it here, it returns true. So I don't get what's going on there. Let's try it again. I can't see the what's happening. Let's do it like this. So we went O, X, O, X, and then before I click here, let's take a look. Let's walk through the code, and we see that we're at this point where we're getting the mouse. We want to click a cell to make a move. I'm going to put the breakpoint right there, and I'm going to click here. So we go to the breakpoint, and so we're going to determine the cell, and once again that cell should be 6. So if I hover over cell, I see 6, so that's good. And now, is cell assigned? So I want to see if cell is assigned. This should be false. So in other words, we don't do continue, and we don't. We skip right over it. That's good. Assign a mark in the cell. So now, if player is O and player is O, that's 0, then we're going to do this. So we are in fact going to do that. So here we're going to assign O to cell 6. And then we change the player. Well, I think that's the error right there. We need to change the player down here somewhere. I think that's the problem. That's the problem right there. So we're changing the player too early. We can't change the player yet because we use that information down here to check on who's the winner. So if nobody wins and it's not a tie, then we're going to change player here. So if player is O, then player is X, else player is O. There it is. So O, let's clear that breakpoint. X, O, X, O. O wins. That works. O, X, O, X, O, X. X wins. I think it's going to be working. We haven't tested everything yet, but one thing we need to do left, the remaining, is to draw an X or draw an O. So there we have it right here. When we, it's in those plot functions. Should be a plot X. So this needs to. We have a cell center. So we got to draw a little X there. And we got the cell center, so what we're going to need are 2 lines, and the 2 lines will have let's do it like that. I'll just try to just draw 2 lines here, and let's create our first line, and this will be in fact, once we get that cell center, let's pull out the X and the Y. Well, you know what we could do? We could call move on cell center. Now move Does move return a new value? It does not. It simply moves the point. So let's do it like this. Let's I mean, that's one way to do it. We can move the cell center to the left a little bit. So -1. Say we'll go to the left one, and then we'll go up one. Okay, back here. We're going to move the cell center to what I think is the upper left corner of the X, and then I'm gonna save a point there. We're gonna just call it point A maybe, and or just call it point. And we'll just copy the cell center to that point. And then we're going to move the cell center to the right by 2 and down by 2. And now we can draw the line from the point to the cell center. And then we're going to do this whole thing all over again. Actually, the 2 points, we'll take this point and move it. That's the bottom right, so we're going to move it up by 2. And then the cell center, we're going to move it, what, down by 2? Something like that. Cell center dot move, and we're going to move it down by 2. And then we're going to print another line there, right? So the same construction here. We don't need this. Let's see if that gives us an X. So that's O. That is not an X. So we're going to have to fix that. This one here doesn't look too bad. And I thought the first move was oh, this is an O, I see. This is plot O, and I'm plotting an X inside plot O. So in fact, is there in fact a circle class? I think there is a circle class. This has got to come down here, by the way. And for O, I think we can use, I'm assuming there's a circle class, but not sure about that. CWin. If there's a circle class, that's going to make it really easy there. Of course, there is one there, so it'll be the cell center, and we need that. And we'll give it some radius. So this will be the cell center, and then give it a radius of 1. And let's see how that looks. So this should be, that's not too bad. Yeah, we're getting there. O wins. So I just have to fix up that X, just move these things around a little bit, and then you'll have your game. So that's it for the tic-tac-toe problem. There's probably some optimizations to do, but the main thing I wanted to show is the process of problem solving using an object-oriented approach to organizing the logic. Alright, that's it.